So in the early spring of 1986, while my family and I were living in a 6th-floor walk-up apartment in Manhattan, a little book arrived in the post that had been sent from some friends in England with whom I'd stayed a couple of months previously. So the author of that book suggests that in order to have a very better quality of life, human beings should do something purposefully, and that is to chew every mouthful of food until it's liquid before they swallow it. Now, I thought this was a grand idea. Why not? I'll give it a go. If it means that I'll have a better quality of life. He used some other words like enlightenment and things like that, but it seemed to me like the next thing for me to try. So I was seated with a bowl of short grain brown rice and some chopsticks and a little store-bought sesame salt, roasted ground sesame salt, sesame seeds with sea salt, and I started to eat consciously for the first time in my life. What happened over the next couple of hours was so extraordinary that it's hard to describe it, but I'm always trying to do my best to do that. And this is what happened, basically. As I started to, with the first mouthful of food, I started to count to 100. With each mouthful I put in, I would start to chew and count to 100. And before I'd even got to the end of the first mouthful, an extraordinary thing happened. It seemed as though a hole was opening up in my crown, in my head, and golden sunlight was pouring through into my body. Well, it was a miserable, cold March day outside. It was dark and rainy and very cold and dreary, but inside, this golden sunshine was pouring into my body. And it was flooding me. It was going through my whole torso, down my arms, out my hands, my fingers, down my legs, out of my feet, my toes. And it just kept on happening, pouring through. And I'm in a place of total awe and shock and like, wow, this is incredible. And we're talking brown rice here, guys. This was not a psychedelic drug. And I experimented with a few in the years past, but nothing happened like this. So after a while, as this golden sunlight's pouring through me, an extra added thing happens, and that is I hear the most beautiful music, beautiful heavenly music like I've never heard before, nor have ever heard since. And the sunlight's still coming, the light's still pouring in my body. Now I've got this beautiful music, and I'm still chewing, counting, right? And then singing is added on top of that. So we've got the golden sunlight, we've got the music, we've got the singing, and I'm basically blissed out. I mean, I'm very, very happy. I'm in total, I'm mesmerized. I don't know what to do other than to keep on chewing, because I want it to keep happening. I didn't want it to stop. So after a while then, I was sort of downloaded a whole lot of what I call universal information, which was basically information about the planet, about the universe, about humans, the family condition, just on and on and on, and I didn't understand it all, but since then things have got a lot clearer about, you know, what the messages were. So I got it. I totally got it. It's like, wow. Chewing is obviously something very important that I was never taught. Apparently, my parents weren't taught it, nor their parents before them, because otherwise it surely would have been passed down as being a very important thing to do. I thought, you know, maybe everybody's supposed to be having this experience with chewing food, which obviously was a little naive of me, because I have not yet one person on this planet in the 34 years since then who has had this similar experience. But what I do know is that many, many beneficial things began to happen within me when I started chewing food. And I basically haven't stopped chewing ever since. When I start chewing, my eyes close automatically. I go into a very calm and peaceful place. I no longer have to chew. I no longer have to count while I'm chewing. For the most part, it's usually about 30 or 40 times a mouthful before everything is liquid, when it's then ready to be swallowed. And the sort of things that started to happen was my digestion got better, my sense of well-being, I became calmer, my nervous system became stronger, and I had a greater sense of health and well-being, basically, from doing it. Many things have happened since that time, and the author's suggestion of chewing food until it was liquid it was also part of a sort of 5 to 10 day program of eating only brown rice for that time, which is what I did. I did not have that, didn't have the exact same experience again of the golden sunlight and the beautiful music and voices. But I did, and I still do, have a very wonderful sense of well-being when I chew food. And that's pretty much what I've done for the last 34 years. I don't talk when I eat. I can't do the two together. They seem counterproductive and very opposite. Talking is outward elimination of energy, and eating is inward digesting of energy. So I'm one of those people who can't mix the two up. I have since learned that there's some very important parts about chewing that are key components to human function and health and strengthening our health. And basically that we've got teeth that, you know, are connected to 32 teeth, connected to 32 vertebrae. And the pulse of chewing sends a little message all through down the spine through the nervous system. And chewing activates, you know, muscles and glands and everything in the jaw, down the neck, up in the brain, everywhere. It's all connected. And we're basically activating the digestive, the respiratory, circulatory system by this act of chewing. We're also breaking down the food with our alkaline, salty saliva and helping to turn more acidic and acid-forming foods into more alkaline foods in preparation to go into the stomach. So this is the gift that I wish to share with you all. And to anybody who decides to do this, I say take a little time to yourself to practice. If you're open-minded family and you've got children who would enjoy to play a new game while they're eating, how many times will it chew? How many times can they chew before it's liquid, etc.? you can turn it into a joyful family experience. So many beneficial things. You'll have better digestion, you'll be calmer, you'll eat less, you'll use the food better, and on and on and on. The list is endless. It doesn't cost you a penny. You don't have to buy anything fancy, no fancy new kitchen gadget, or you don't have to buy any special food, nothing. Just start practicing chewing every mouthful you put in till it's liquid and see what happens. Over a period of maybe a few days or a few weeks, you will start to notice some very interesting things. So this is a little vignette of what I have basically been writing in my book, also called Time to Eat. And I'm hoping to publish that before too long. And maybe I will post 2 or 3 more little videos as follow-up to this, because there are some other components that I don't want to particularly go into at this time, but I do hope that you might find this useful, helpful. This is a very special time on the planet, guys. It really is. We're being given the opportunity to pay greater attention, to slow down. We're all going so fast. I could invite you to say, try having breakfast without coffee, because caffeine tends to make us go rather quickly, and we might not have the patience to chew the food, and that's, some of the problem. But anyway, good luck, have fun, and be well. Please be well, be safe, be healthy, and blessings to all. Thank you. Bye.